Hi friends, I'm Felicia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about the last 3 books that I read. It was a little bit backlogged, but these are actually the last 3 books that I've completed. And so you will not see my Iron Man shirt again. Okay, Storm is having a hard time apparently with life right now. I don't know if you hear that, but she sounds so pathetic. Okay, so the first book that I want to talk to you about is A Spies Devotion by Melanie Dickerson. And I actually got this book for review and ended up putting it off until now, so I have the library book instead of reading the ebook. But anyway, so this is the first book in her the Regency Spies of London series. And I was recommended to read Melanie Dickerson by my friend Angela from Coffee and Chapters. Melanie Dickerson is her favorite author, or one of her favorite authors, and she's read everything that she's written, and so I was like, well, I would like to try her out. And so I have this book. It sounded really interesting to me. The premise is, it's basically set in Regency London, as the title implies, and it follows a young woman named Julia, who is the ward of her aunt and uncle after her parents die, and they have allowed her to grow up in proper society, but she has no income, so she is not hopeful that she will marry well, but she is still allowed to be in society with her cousin and her family. So she's still in the same circles as them, even though she's not technically as well off as them. And then there's also a gentleman. His name is Nicholas Langdon. Yes, Mr. Langdon. And he is acquainted with the family. And through a series of events, he is called upon to actually spy on Julia's uncle. He is believed to be involved in some traitorous activities, and so Nicholas becomes kind of an accidental spy, and so that's kind of where our story takes off. I really enjoyed this story. The writing was really good. It read like a modern book, but it also had kind of a Jane Austen-y feel to it. Like, it felt like it could be properly Regency, I guess, just with more contemporary language, sentence structure, I guess. But I really enjoyed it. I thought that she did a really good job of capturing the Regency era. I am actually currently reading Pride and Prejudice. Rereading Pride and Prejudice. I've read it before. But yeah, so I'm reading Pride and Prejudice. So I had that to compare this to, and I felt like they line up pretty well. Like, the feeling is the same. And so I really liked that. I really liked the characters of Julia and Nicholas. Yeah, I really liked them as the main characters of the story. I liked their blossoming romance. Like, Mr. Langdon, he was like just like super hunky, like wee. So he was a really good love interest. I really enjoyed him. Is that awkward to say? I don't know. I'm sorry if that's awkward to say. I really liked the plot. I just really enjoyed this book in general. Yeah, I thought it was really good, and I am looking forward to reading more from Melanie Dickerson because I liked her writing and I thought this was really good. So yeah. Then the next book that I finished was So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which is book number 4 in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series by Douglas Adams. Again, listen to this on audio, narrated by Martin Freeman. He's brilliant. And I actually buddy read this with Lauren from Burnt Fiction. I'll link her down below. She's a newer booktuber, and you should really go check out her channel because she reads a lot of... She has a very wide interest in her tastes, and I really enjoy her videos. So you should go check her out, and her intro is just brilliant. I love it. So yeah, go check her out. But yeah, so we buddy read this together, and we talked about it as we were listening to it, and we just both really love this book. I think this, I don't know, it's hard to say which is my favorite, but like this is one of my favorites. This is in my top 3, I think, out of the 5. This was actually supposed to be the end of the series, And so that's why they call it, it was supposed to be a trilogy in 4 parts, which to my mind makes more, it's funnier than a trilogy in 5 parts. I don't know why. But yeah, so this was supposed to be where the story ended originally, and I felt like I could definitely tell that that's where things were supposed to be ended. It didn't end in a, you know, a tidy bow as per Douglas Adams' just writing style. And, you know, to go with the rest of the plots of these books. But I felt like everything kind of came full circle from the first book. It felt like a complete journey to me, and so I'm interested to just see where my feelings are with the last book when I get to that, hopefully shortly. So this book basically takes a departure from the previous books in the series, and it basically focuses mostly on Arthur, which I like because he's my favorite. And he is in the most unlikeliest of situations, and he stumbles upon the girl of his dreams. Kind of follows the development of their relationship, and it just is the cutest thing. There's also one of my favorite sideline stories in the series. It's in this book. Each book kind of has like a running joke in it, and my favorite one is in this one. I don't know. I can't say too much. As usual, I can't say too much about this because it's the 4th book in a series. So yeah, just read it and find out for yourself. And now you know, if you didn't know before, now you know where my sign-off comes from. It comes from this book, which also comes from the first book. It's in all the books. So yeah, that's all. I love it. I love Arthur Dent. I love him. So sorry, Chris. I love him. The last book that I want to talk about today, I finished this morning, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And I've read this book before, one time. I had to read it for a college class, so that was not that long ago. It was only a few years ago. And I have not read any of the other books in the series. So this is going to be my first time actually reading through the Harry Potter series. And I'm a little bit bummed out because I've been spoiled for basically everything that happens in the end. But there are still things that are a surprise, and I've even read this book before, and there were things that surprised me that I forgot. I know there are some other booktubers that I watch that are also, you know, grown adults, and they're reading Harry Potter for the first time as well, so I know I'm not alone. I really enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed this book, and I enjoyed the story, and I can totally see why it took off, and why so many people were drawn to it, and why so many people are just they're still so attached to it, and I can just totally see that. And I just found the story to be just completely delightful, and I'm excited to actually complete the series and see where everything goes, and watch the movies too, because I've never seen those either. So yeah, I'm excited, you guys. And don't be so, you know, I'm tired of being left out. And everyone's like, oh, Harry Potter. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a cool part. So now I'll actually know, and that I won't be spoiled anymore because it'll be over. And I probably will not read The Cursed Child. As of right now, that's my plan, to not read it. So those are the last 3 books that I read. If you've read any of them, let me know your thoughts. I'm especially interested to know your thoughts on So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, but, you know, if you have thoughts of me reading Harry Potter for the first time, you can feel free to leave those down below, I guess. And I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, so long and thanks for all the fish.